Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. The border is still a chaotic crisis. The number of migrant encounters is staggering. The anticipated bipartisan Senate agreement died an early death. So what now? Everyone says things need to be improved at the border, and yet things remain the same. So does the president lack the tools, or does he lack the will to seal the border? Is the GOP benefiting from the problem more than it would the solution? And who's actually in charge of counting votes in the House these days? Joining us now is someone likely to be an impeachment manager or prosecutor if Mayorkas is impeached or indicted. Florida Congresswoman Laurel Lee. Welcome to you, Congresswoman. All right, so the GOP passed H.R. 2, if memory serves me, which tells me there needed to be legislative changes, but there won't be any changes between now and November, so what now?
Well, there's an important distinction there. So first of all, President Biden and Mayorkas do have sufficient tools right now to stop the crisis that we see at the southern border. They could tomorrow return to the policies of the Trump administration, like remain in Mexico and just putting an end to the parole and asylum that they're using, and really make a substantial and meaningful reduction in what's coming across the border. If we are to try to pass laws related to immigration and the southern border, they need to be laws that ensure that executive branch agencies will enforce and follow the law. Right now, they have an obligation to detain and deport people who come to this country unlawfully. They're not doing that. And any legislation related to the border needs to be focused on ensuring our laws are followed, not codifying ways that the administration can have discretion, because we've already seen where they have discretion, they will abuse it, and even where they don't, they will act in a way that is contrary to our existing law.
All right, you are and were in a previous life a very good lawyer. Good lawyers can read the jury. So reading the Senate, I would say there is precisely zero chance that Mayorkas will be convicted, like zero. So why go after him if he is simply doing what Biden is telling him to do? Why not impeach the puppet master rather than the puppet?
Well, there are a few reasons why impeachment itself is important. First of all, Secretary Mayorkas has willfully and deliberately subverted the laws of the United States of America. He has been told by federal district court judges that a number of his policies are unlawful, that his alternatives to detention should be ceased immediately. He defied that court order. He was ordered by a federal judge to reinstate remain in Mexico. He did not. So in addition to defying the courts, he's come into Congress. He's given us testimony time and again that wasn't truthful, saying the border was secure, saying he had operational control of the border. Anyone in America can look and see that this is not the case, that it isn't truthful testimony. So what's important is that this means we have one branch of the government that is really subverting the lawful authority of the other two, which is an affront to our very Constitution. So, the other thing to always remember is that the consequence of his actions is that he's created a grave threat to our national security. So he has been an absolute disaster as a cabinet secretary. He's defied his oath of office. He's violated the public trust. So we do believe very strongly in the House that it's necessary to pursue impeachment. I certainly hope the Senate does the right thing. I don't know whether or not they will, but we want to be sure we're doing our job in the House and that we are holding him accountable for his failure to uphold the law.
I will bet you tickets to Disney World that they do not convict him. But let me ask you this before I'll let you go. So in October, 8 House Republicans, one of which was not you, got rid of Kevin McCarthy. I am struggling to see how the House has improved since Kevin was dethroned by all the Democrats and 8 Republicans. But am I missing something? Are things going really swimmingly and I'm just missing it?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that we're confronting all of the same issues we did while Kevin McCarthy was our speaker. So now Speaker Johnson is confronted with all of the very same problems, trying to pass appropriations bills, trying to build consensus in a Republican conference where consensus is a difficult thing to achieve. So, I do believe what we're seeing is that the problems haven't changed. We are confronting all of the same challenges. I know Speaker Johnson's working very hard to try to build consensus, but we've been in exactly the same situation with appropriations bills and continuing resolutions. And we really need as a conference is to come together and start working as a team. And that is a problem that is unfortunately still very much one that we're confronting.
Well, you do not appear to be part of the problem. Look forward to talking to you next time on a Sunday night.
Thanks, Trey. Great to see you.
You too. Up next, former state